good to go.
I hate we were on the dot so I could tell y'all the white people drama, but I'll tell y'all after.
Oh damn! I didn't mean. Damn, I wish you told me.
I can tell y'all the white people after because that was some wild shit.
Tell us after, please. Oh man.
Hey girl, your favorite part of the week is starting.
Oh, is she here? Look.
Yeah, she's over there.
She coming. You know she coming.
I was like, hey girl, what's your favorite thing?
Like, I'm about to just put her name on. We have to put her name on the logo.
She's busy right now. She's drinking water.
Real shit.
Okay, so I was recording with these two podcasters. Was it yesterday? Yeah, it was yesterday. And it was me and two other guests, right? And one of the girls had a dog and was like hella trying to like be in the camera and stuff, but like the way like that you handle it versus the way that she handled it, like she kept like she was like stopping like the flow of the conversation and shit. I was like, wow, you need to get your family under control. Like the dog that I know that be on podcasts, like
she's a seasoned professional. She just likes to make her presence known.
Right. You just gotta get her spot right. Like,
she about to go on a feature tour in 2022 and shit.
Yeah, no, this dog was barking and shit. Like, nah, girl. Like,
you don't bark unless it's
under control.
For her to be as big as she is, she does not bark unless it's some for real shit happening. Like somebody got to be trying to climb on the goddamn patio for her to bark. Like it's got to be real shit.
Right.
Well, we about to talk about Martin Shkreli. Lord.
Oh, let me show y'all. I'm about to put. Hold on a second. I'm about to put something on the screen. Like this is what I'm about to show y'all on the screen is what I like. This is what I think when I think about like Martin Shkreli. Like y'all gonna laugh. I hope. Of course you guys are. Okay, hold on.
This is a nice ass pen. I'm about some more of these.
This nigga. like every time he was on his live stream, like all I saw was "see you next year" face. Like,
hell no.
Yeah, he was making some weird ass faces on the live though. Like it was very, it was giving like 8-year-old with the webcam. It was a lot.
And it was very unforced. Like this nigga's just a weird nigga.
Oh, he's playing Ghostface Killer tonight. Today. Very intricate part of the story.
I don't know. It's a nice pen.
Did you steal it from somebody? Like you can't get over how good it is. Like, did you say
I def stole it? I def stole it. I def stole it from a Mexican restaurant. But here's the thing, because I'm normally not a pen thief, like from like servers, because I know you have like a good pen, and the server wants to keep their good pen, right? Like they're not trying to give you their pen.
Hell yeah.
But like she wouldn't give me a refill, and like she only came by to like give us our food and then the check. Like Mama did not come back anytime else, and it was literally us and 3 other people in there because we went to lunch at 11 o'clock.
And VJ said, and if you think you're getting your pen back.
I mean, I still left her a nice tip because I don't believe in being, unless like you like shit in the food. I don't believe in being fucked up to servers. Like they already make pennies, but I def got her pen just off the sheer fact that I wanted some tea to go and she just didn't come back. So
as somebody who done paid his bills doing that job, when you take a pen, it is the one thing that make a nigga stop and think about the whole situation. Because like the most disrespectful shit you could do is take my pen. So now I'm like, the fuck? Did you do this on purpose or did you do this by mistake?
I mean, like she literally was like, "What do you want to drink?" We told her. She bought the drinks back. What do you want to eat? We told her. She bought the food back, and we did not see that bitch again for an hour until she bought the check.
No, you were right. You
disappeared.
Were right, it made the bitch think like, yeah, that was it. That's horrible.
Like she disappeared, and it was literally like us and 2 other people in the area. Like,
all right,
you went to the back to like get like, which
it's a restaurant like right down the street from our house. That me, Josh, and the kids just was like on a whim, like, yeah, let's go eat or whatever. So we went over there, and it was like such a bad experience. And of course, and I hate that the fucking server was black because like that really irritated me. But like, it was just like a whole like culmination of shit that like literally every time we drive past it, my kids be like, I hate that happens. Like, cause like I went the fuck off. Like I was like, no, bitch, like we're not doing this. Like if she was just like, she didn't come by to check on us. She kept like giving me like the evil eye, like to the point where I literally had to ask Josh like 3 times, like, are you sure you've never had sex with her? Like, cause why is she looking at me like this? Like, yeah, it's okay. Like, like for real, I don't know. I really didn't get it. So like I told her supervisor about that. And I was like, I literally questioned my relationship 3 times during the meal because I wasn't sure what was happening. Like, why are you staring at me like this? Like,
maybe she thought she knew you.
No.
Then say that, girl. Like, but honestly, I have that face. So people always be like, you remind me of, or you look like, and it's like that. Like, I don't. So it wasn't that. So I would have been okay with that conversation. Like, oh, did you go there? And I'd be like, nah, I never been there before. Like, I'm used to that conversation, but that shit was just so crazy. And like, my kids literally be like, man, like, I don't know if it's because they like miss the food, like, but we just not never going there again. It was wild.
Food was probably slapped, and they like, I don't even want to bring it up to mom. I really want to.
Like, I would really love some fucking hush puppies, but like.
What if that girl still worked there, right?
Nigga. And they gave me all my food for free. Like, I was not playing around with them.
Well, then that was some.
Remember that? Remember when the hush puppy lady was staring at me like she fucked you?
Poor Josh. He's like, I don't.
That's literally that's literally his face during the whole time.
He was like
never seen her.
I don't know this shit. Right.
Pretty sure I've never seen her.
And I don't think I have a face that makes people say I know you. I have the face that makes white people say I know you from somewhere, and then they think I'm Keisha Knight Pulliam, and I really hate white people for that.
Right.
Wow.
It's the cheeks, but that's what I get. It's never black people. It's always some weird white person being like, "You look so familiar."
Like, bitch, you've never seen me before. Like, trust.
No, you saw Keisha. You saw Rudy on the Cosby Show, and this is what we're doing. Okay. Where'd he go? Did he disappear?
I don't know. No, he good.
Okay, there he is. Hey, we thought you would have died. Okay.
I mean, it wouldn't have been unlikely. You know, my shit be on that other shit.
You can only halfway see me?
No, she was talking about what you was talking about.
Oh. I was like, wait.
Okay, you guys ready?
We're ready. Let's do this. Let's talk about Martin Scully. Pharma Bro.
He really is. Bro to me indicates that this nigga got real friends, and I don't.
It don't seem like he got none. I thought that was weird too. They were like, "Oh, bro," and I was like, "I think bro is just to be insulting, not like bro in the real context of the word, because he wasn't giving
the poser sense."
Yeah, because it wasn't giving me like frat boy, I have connections type vibes.
Right.
I was just halfway. Rudy, exactly. Like the cheeks are the only thing, so they're just being very weird about it.
Okay, guys. So, Pharma Bro is on Hulu. If you guys want to watch it, I'm not gonna lie, guys. I don't know the person who created the shit's name because I literally all my notes just wrote weirdo because I couldn't determine who was more weird, Martin Scully or this nigga, like with the camera.
His name is Brent Hodge. So I like because at first, like when we're going into like the thing, like he doesn't say who he is, but like he has like that fucking murder board in his house, like he's trying to catch a fucking serial killer. And then I look and realized it was just tweets from Martin Scully, and I was like,
Martin Scully. That's it.
That's not weird at all.
Nope.
Right.
No,
it was like dates and shit, like the months, and I was like, oh, okay.
Yes. He was very thorough and following another weird nigga around.
Real shit.
For no real reason, we'll find out shortly.
Right, you're right. You're absolutely right. Okay, so who is Martin Scully, y'all?
Weird nigga.
He is a very weird nigga with money. He'll tell you that he's from the hood. He'll say that he had to fight out his way out of Coney Island Hospital when he was born. He'll tell you that, you know, the streets ain't easy. You know what I'm saying? He'll tell you all these things, but really at the end of the day, he's just a white dude that had immigrant parents. So we all know how immigrants get treated out here. So
yeah, I mean, and here's the thing, like he's an immigrant where like
he's an Albanian.
I try not to make it be weird and black and white. We try not to be like the racial,
but it is.
But
it is. So like go ahead and explain.
Yeah, like he's white passing, right? Like until he had said that his parents were immigrants, like, and the name Skrelly obviously gives it away, but it's very white passing immigrants, not like that. You know, it's like that whole thing of like, oh well, not you, like the other ones,
right?
And so yeah, like and he's saying his family, like his mom won't let him like pay for anything, and his family are still janitors, and that may be the case, but like you also have a last name that's very like notable, but you look white. So if you tell people, you know, oh yeah, well my family's from Albania, they're just gonna shrug and be like, whatever. Like it's not like you're
sounding made up anyway. So like,
it's like
I don't even know that I would have known. Right? I wouldn't even know. I wouldn't even know Skrelly was like a regional name.
Kardashians. Like you're from somewhere and you're saying you're something, but you live in America, you're white. Like,
right. But in their culture though, only because I was like privy to kind of see it like firsthand. Yeah, he passing for white, but in their culture is more of like how white people look at us. That's how they look at white people in the sense of like mixing. And so that's why he do pass for white. And I think that's why he got to, like, this nigga wanted to exist in a world that everybody thought he was in, but he really wasn't. And that's why you see he ain't got no friends. He got the money. He act weird like them motherfuckers. He on that tech shit. But yet.
That's because you got to get the money first. Then you got to get the bitches. And then you get the power. He skipped the bitches part. And that's why he fucked up. Like,
yeah, because the bitches was not on point. And then it was a twist at the end of this that mama can tell you I did not see coming
at all.
Okay. Yeah, real shit.
But so we kind of explain what we think of him, but like generally the public knows him as the guy who price gouged a pill that at one point was what $13.50 a pill.
Yeah, so at the beginning of this, I think like we get a bunch of like screenshots and stuff from Martin Skrelly, but then like we get pieces from a congressional hearing that he sat in. So this was right after he raised the price of this drug. So for those of you who don't know, Martin Skrelly like took over this, like, well, he started a drug company, which is wild in itself. So he went from being like a hedge fund, like wonderkin, to being like deciding I want to take this money and
start my own pharma company.
Thank you. Christian from All Docked Up. My question here is, how are you from the hood and you end up in like, you end up as a wonderkin and head funges and shit? Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, I know he like really likes to say that, and I don't know if it's because he bought the Wu-Tang album, but like he really likes to hold on to the fact that he's from the streets, and like the very first 30 seconds of you explaining who he really is that shows me that he's not. But go ahead. Thank you for.
Well, I mean, he's from Brooklyn, but like also like it's white people in walk up.
So is weird niggas with these mustaches, like.
Brooklyn, but there's also like a Starbucks like right around the corner from your parents' house now. Like it's very. Like what you're saying and like what it was are probably like your parents probably are janitors, and that's fine. But they janitored the shit out of some shit so that you could go to private school. Like, they was cleaning everything like up and down Brooklyn so you could go to private school and like be a hedge fund.
Look, cleaning the streets to the
like they were street sweeping, shoveling snow, wiping down. They were window washers. Like if it was something you could do that was janitorial,
they was doing
janitored the shit out of it. For him to go to so I mean, which is the story of a lot of people. It's like he's not unique. Like he's saying it like it's special. It's a lot of people whose parents had blue collar jobs and were fucking working those bitches from like sun up to sundown to make sure their kids had everything everybody else's kids have.
Real shit.
I mean, and I think that and that's very like indicative not of his experiences, but like a lot of people's experiences. Because you think about it, when we were growing up, like I would tell people, like I would say I grew up middle class, but the truth of the matter is, my mom really was just like on it 24/7 to make sure I had the shit that everybody else around me had. I don't think we were upper middle class, but I think she like shielded me from a lot of like us not, like bills and that, because a lot of people like we don't have it. And mom was like, okay, I'll see what I can do. And she made it happen. And I think it's probably the same for him. Like he's saying, like he got it out the mud. It's like, no, your parents got it out the mud. You ain't did shit. Like no, you did not pick up a single piece of trash, sir. Like, relax. It was not you. Your mom and daddy did that. Like, for you to go do whatever the fuck it was you was doing.
Mom and dad did that, so hopefully you won't have to go through that.
Well, and he turned out like something, I guess. So he's at this congressional hearing, and he does the thing that everyone does at a congressional hearing, right? He invokes his Fifth Amendment privileges to not say shit because,
right.
I mean, and people can be mad about it, but honestly, if I thought y'all were gonna try to like hit me up, I would do the same thing. So
exactly. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Like, I mean, like, nigga, like that's literally like a fucking like pass go collect $200 card. Like, if I can literally get dressed up knowing that these niggas are coming for me, and I can just have my arms crossed and just never say anything. Like, amazing. Absolutely. I'll take 10 of those.
He did. He smiled, he laughed. I would say he cried, but he didn't cry. He just laughed and smiled a lot. It pissed off everybody, but you know.
Oh, God, smirking.
This dude is if you really think about it in a weird way, you kind of need this kind of guy every now and then. This is the reason why Batman villains are so dope. They're practical ass people that for some reason take some weird ass chance and look what happens. Because if you got to be honest about it, everybody shits on him for raising the price on that pill, and it was definitely shitty. But the fucked up part about it is, damn near everybody in his position would have did something of the sort.
Which, yeah, I guess we can kind of get into that. So, long story short on the congressional hearing, because it's just the very beginning, but he gets the title of the most hated man in America. And the thing that he did was there is a drug called Daraprim. And Daraprim is a pill where, generally speaking, people that have toxoplasmosis, HIV and AIDS patients, pregnant women, and cancer patients usually are the people that are the primary consumers of Daraprim. Before he acquired the rights to Daraprim, it was $13.50 a pill. Or $13.50. I'm not sure if it's a pill or if it was like for a certain amount.
No, it's a pill. It was a pill. It was never like 13 for the whole bottle. Like, so
$13.50 a pill, which is not horrible in the grand scheme of things. He raised it 5,000% to $750 a pill.
That sounds like some Maury Povich shit. Like, what kind of percentage? Like,
when you 5,000%, like for most people, that's something you don't ever think about. Like, it's hard to wrap your head around. But yeah, it raised it to $750. Yeah, that it made it really like unaffordable for pretty much the people that are using it is what it did.
Right. Right. It's exactly it.
But it made him famous. And I think that was his angle.
Which I think is crazy because, like you said, he's not the first, nor will he be the last to do it. So what it is that Daraprim is an orphan drug, right? And so we get this kind of parlay into what orphan drugs are. So basically, if you have no knowledge, there are certain drugs who are past their patent life, which means that there's nobody doing any research on them. They just kind of exist on the market, but nobody's furthering anything about them. They just kind of exist in space. So roughly there's less than like 200,000 people that are using the drug or need it for anything. So people that have very, very like rare diseases usually are people that fall into the category of using orphan drugs. So Reagan, one of the only maybe nice things he you're still in hell, sir, but the only one nice thing that you did is passed the Orphan Drug Act in 1983. And what it did was give pharmaceutical companies subsidies to start doing research and kind of taking these orphan drugs in so that they can make them viable and available to people that need them, even though they aren't necessarily profitable. So what you see is there's no law against hiking the prices on these drugs. So a lot of companies have some sort of orphan drug where they have hiked the price. I think the difference is that nobody is hiking the price 5,000% at once.
That's the exact difference. And also, people aren't hiking the price up 5,000% and then going on live streams to answer questions about it. Like, and I think one of the things that people like to do, because for a long time, like, people were trying to blame him for a lot of the other spikes that were happening in the medical community. But again, knowing that this is something that is not really, there's no like safeguards to prevent people from doing these kinds of things. And so it's always happening, guys. Like, if you have an older person in your family that's on a lot of medication, you've probably seen it. Like, so you know it happens. But because this nigga wanted to show you his face so fucking much, like, he is doing these live streams and he's going on fucking press tours and shit to answer people's questions.
Yeah. He wanted to be basically he just wanted to be a supervillain, like, of his own making. Like, oh, you're mad at me? Well, I'm gonna ramp it up to 1,000 and make you even more mad. I'm just gonna play into being the villain. When the truth is, like, everyone spikes drugs, right? Drugs go up in price, especially if they think they can make money. The problem here is, like I said, it's the 5,000% markup on a drug that is used by marginalized communities, like pregnant women and HIV, like
people with HIV.
Right. It was just a perfect storm. Like, he picked a drug that really kind of had people that were on the fringes, or, you know, pregnant women who probably already aren't receiving the best medical care. Like, he just picked one where it got people in an uproar when, like, the price of EpiPens or insulin and all of those things are still right there.
That's what I was gonna say, because he did that and showed his face and was doing all of that, people started associating other drug hikes with him, and he didn't, and he never really said that it wasn't. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, unless you were really following it, you would have never really knew that he didn't raise the price of EpiPens too. Like, we wouldn't have even known that, because at that point he became the poster child for fucking pharmaceutical bullshit. Like,
right. The nigga just wanted attention, and he cracked the code at the right time. Like, what was going on in 2015? Do you remember?
We were ramping up to the presidential election.
That was it. That was the most important shit.
I mean, that was the news cycle. We're ramping up the presidential election. Trump was on every newspaper, television, Twitter, Facebook. It was just that was it.
Yeah.
That was the story.
And if you're going,
this just kind of was in it.
If you're gonna shake the table with anything else, is this. And I think we looking at a dude when he say, I think everybody's get it out the mud is different. And unfortunately, a lot of people, you know, they take our vernacular and use it wrong. So his get it out the mud, I feel, is he ain't had no friends growing up. He was picked on. He probably got beat up. You know what I'm saying? And so when you're that kid and all you want to do is shit on the world, and wow, this is you magically get this fucking chance, because that's taking a fucking bold ass chance. And if we really think about it in the sense of any drug that has the impact on natural selection, the motherfucking government usually don't fuck with it. And this is why this shit was allowed to go on so long. And this nigga just made himself famous off of it.
Right. Basically.
Yeah. So I guess back to Brent. Back to Brent. So Brent is making this documentary, right? And when you watch it, I will just say, like, I liked the documentary, but it just, the way it was put together, like, Brent
is not a fucking. I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry. I'm just gonna go ahead and say it.
Brent wanted to make a movie, and I think he wanted it to be a love letter to Martin Scully, and he just didn't do a good job. Like,
in a world where it's okay, in a world where everything has to be accepted, this was his flag of saying, "Hey, I'm creepy, but you guys can't judge me."
That's exactly what this is. This nigga is not a fucking documentarian, nigga. This is a nigga that was in 2015. Upset. This is all that was that was interesting to him, because he looked like a nigga like him or some shit, and he just like threw himself into the work. Except I feel like ain't nobody pay him for this. Like, I just feel like he did this.
No, like, he really, like, it was weird. He was like, he wanted to know who the real Martin Scully was. And so he figures out that he can basically call into his live streams, which, by the way, Scully was like live streaming every night.
Let's talk about that.
For like 6 hours, and you could just sit there and he would talk to you. You could call in and let him, you know, abuse you on some, you know, sadomasochist shit. You know, if you're a glutton for punishment, you could call in, let him call you stupid for a while. Yeah, it was just a thing. They were just like hanging out on live stream with Martin Shkreli.
People would call in and they would like answer not the right way or whatever, and he'd be like, oh, good, and like hang up. Like he was like, I just wanted to punch him in the face so many times during this documentary. But my question here, let's go back to the live streams for a second, because you guys know things can't just like go across my screen without like my like crazy active brain being like, but wait, what the fuck was those black people in there talking to this nigga about?
I had the same.
There was like a little cute black bitch. Like, bitch, how do you even know if this nigga is live? Like, who is this nigga? Like that he's in the fucking like things to go watch right now. Like
I wanted. Exactly.
Yes, except he don't have no relationships to talk about.
Like, I really wanted to get like sit downs with the people that were on these live streams, not the people that called in, but the people that the
people that were sitting like how we're sitting.
Yeah, like people that he actually queued up video for, and were just sitting there talking with him. Like, where are they? I want to know about them, because it was definitely black people there.
The black people though, like
yeah, like why the fuck? Like, explain to me, how
what are y'all doing,
Martin Shkreli? Like,
how did you even find this?
How did you find him? What is going on? Do y'all like hang out? Like, is it, because I have
none of them look like they really hung out with him in real life. Like the them black people, there was like a hood nigga, there was like a bitch that probably is on Instagram right now. Like it was like just some random ass black people, and I need to understand. Like, how did you even find this?
Niggas got high and went down the rabbit hole.
Gun? Like it was like,
yeah. Oh my god, the dude with the fucking gun. Like, not you about to kill for Martin Shkreli. Like the like.
I didn't get what was going on at all.
He basically was like, I got the strap if you need me to have the strap. Like, it's basically what he said. I don't know if this was around the Wu-Tang beef. I'm not really sure.
This nigga said we ride at dawn. Y'all
like Paul Revere, nigga. Like,
okay. We all ride. He said the North remembers, and I just wanted to know what it was that the North.
What did they remember?
What did they remember? Like that was the part I was concerned about.
And Martin didn't even respond to him. Like,
who did it to you? Like, what did they do to Martin? Like, I need to know.
As far as the media is concerned, Martin Shkreli ran so Trump could fly. This is exactly the same shit.
You're not off base there. Like, okay. So one time, guys, back when we like first started doing like not this, but our live streams for like when we used to just get on fucking live streams and talk, like back when the pandemic first started or whatever. That fucking dude that was on the live stream with the shotgun. One night, y'all, we were in there and a dude came into our shit, and he definitely had like, so you see whatever that is behind Penrose, like imagine it's a shotgun right there. So just a shotgun right there, and then he's literally just casually asking us like how he gets a girlfriend. Like, and I was like, well, definitely got to put the gats away. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like you're not like, it was just a white dude with just mad guns, and he was just like how do I get a girlfriend? Like, it was the weirdest shit. But that's the nigga that I feel like
you just post your Zoom link and people would just
I just post my Zoom link and people used to just jump in. Like,
yo, you don't remember the nigga that jumped in that looked like the Joker?
Yes.
Oh,
yes. I could never forget that. Like,
like that's burned in my brain. It was.
You remember him, Autumn?
A whack burner.
He really was though.
I love
we were trying to give him some game, but at the end of the day, I don't think he heard us. But anyway, I just wanted to say that's what he reminded me of. But it's just a weird fucking variety of characters that would just be on his live stream. And then there were people that would call, right? And then Hodge, he would be the one that would call. This is the weirdo that made the documentary.
Yeah.
So VJ said something a couple times. Like, he basically was like, at one point, didn't he say like, don't try to like out privilege me or some shit? Like I don't know what the fuck was happening, but basically he was like, I'm the white man, and don't you call my phone trying to up white man me. But listen, what VJ said earlier about how weirdo, like, we don't think anybody paid him to do this, and he wanted to like get to know Martin. This nigga literally went back to his like OG country. Where was it?
Albania. So apparently
Albania.
The name Shkreli, like, you just take it, and everything in this town and every place is some form of Skrell.
Skrell.
So Skrelly is like, I'm from Skrell, Albania, basically, like of Skrelly.
Right.
So like
that would be dope if we could do that. Like my last name would be like Chicago. Like,
yeah, Chicago. Of Chicago.
right.
That's how the Filipinos do it. Whatever their last name start with, that island that they came from start with the same letter.
Huh. Yeah.
Interesting.
It's pretty interesting. Yeah. But yeah, so he goes and interviews. Hey, listen, that's my family. Like, that's what it is. Like,
I love the Filipino people. Shout out to y'all.
They're great. They're great. I was leaving work at like 1 this morning, and there was like, I was getting on the elevator to go to my car, and it was like literally like 20 Filipinos, like all in the fucking thing, like coming out to like go to the strip to go have fun. And I'm like, definitely going home. And then like that, it's just like 20 of them just coming out, and I'm just smiling at all of them. And then the last one comes, he goes, "Good morning," like, and then he just like goes away. And I was like, all right, boo, good night or morning or whatever's happening. Like,
we're fine.
Like, and it was so funny because like they're all adults, but he was like the shortest one, so I didn't even really see him coming at the end. And he came, he was like, "Good morning."
He said, "They're rude. Don't worry, I'm not rude. I'm here."
I was like, "Nigga, I'm sleepy."
So,
oh shit.
Yeah, he goes, and basically all we get from this is they're just like, the media's lying. He's great. He's amazing. He's over there like living the American dream. Fuck what y'all talking
And that's what it is. And that's what it is, though. It's not really that they're like supportive or understand what the fuck is happening to us because of him coming over here. But it's more so the fact that he was able to come over here with his family, and they came maybe from not too much out there, and they appear to be doing way better. So like, that's all it is it's the visuals that they're proud of. I don't think that they like really deep dove into like what the fuck this nigga is up to.
Well, also Brent doesn't speak fucking Albanian, so there's no telling what the fuck.
You're absolutely right. Like, I forgot that. Like,
no telling.
And it's because nobody paid him to do this. If somebody paid him to do this, they probably would send a translator over. Like,
which also, why the fuck was he like? What does Brent do that makes him like?
Dog, I think about it.
These, like,
a lot of these people, like you said, don't try to out-privilege him. Like, think about the dude that quit his job for the Elisa Lam case. Remember? A lot of these people just have money somewhere or whatever. And this dude, if you think about it, he even said it. He was like, "I'm not making this movie. Martin Shkreli's making this movie. Pretty much all I got to do is follow him around every time he do something stupid." And
so, like, okay, I need that life. Like, could you imagine we all just like had like all the money, and then like some like just random bitch in like fucking New Hampshire just fucking disappear? We're like, yo,
which we would like, and if we just had money to like burn, and we could just like do this show because we had
live
all the money
on location,
right? And then they were like, "Yo, they made a documentary where this bitch went missing. She been missing for 4 years, and the documentary don't know what happened. We finna cover the documentary, and we finna go
and we about to solve the case.
We finna go re-interview. We finna go talk to the filmmaker.
And listen,
they live where? Rhode Island. Okay, somebody get us a house. We finna rent us a house in Rhode Island. Who finna get the plane tickets? We gonna be there.
Yeah,
you gotta look when we do that. You gotta have the motherfucking office cutaways, because a nigga like, yo, so we went to where they got murdered. They going in the motherfucking graveyard. I wasn't going in that graveyard. You gotta have the cutaways.
Yes. Or we'd be like, "Okay, guys, time to go in the haunted house," and I like look in the camera like Jim, like
me sitting outside like. I didn't go in.
So we traveling here, and we're just gonna camp out front.
And they said they were gonna go in, and I said that was fine. And then they went in, and I shut the door behind them and came and sat here with you. So
my next interview is like, I shouldn't have went in.
We haven't seen Penrose in 10 weeks.
We're still here recording, hoping he comes out, but nobody will go in. Wonder why.
All we found was his do-rag.
Hell no. Oh shit!
We say all of that to say Brent decided,
and the rope from his robe.
Right.
Just the tie, not the robe, just the tie.
Just the robe, just the tie.
Oh my god.
Like, what the fuck happened?
Not the frame, just one lens out of your glass.
Right,
who unraveled your robe and untied your fucking do-rag? Like, what the fuck
in the haunted house. Wherever we at, shit. Yeah.
Right.
Oh my god. The haunted house in Rhode Island. Oh my god.
Right. But the point of that is to say that Brent has it's like mad money just sitting around in the closet somewhere for him to do all
because he lives in New York. Like he already lives in an expensive ass city. He doesn't live in the slums. So Brent got a little money from somewhere. Yeah. Good as Brent felt, he said, you know what? Fuck it. I need to get close to Martin Scully. And this weird bitch
moved not across the street, not like in a building adjacent, like literally like upstairs.
Something like that, yeah.
Upstairs.
I would like to know how much that apartment was because it was so small when he moved out. And I'm like, I know if Martin Scully is living there, it's probably like the price is probably crazy hiked up. But like that was a shitty ass apartment.
It's New York. They will charge you $4,000 and you won't have a kitchen.
Yeah.
So, what? No, like okay, so
it's
like,
expensive out there.
It's very expensive. It's like, and then people always joke about it, but like there's like if you look at Zillow, like I think there's a Twitter account where they like put weird shit that like they see on Zillow, and then there's a couple of TikTok accounts where they like post like weird shit like New York type whatever. Mm-hmm. Yeah, $2,000 and $3,000, and it's like shotgun style like house but apartment. So like it's straight through. Like there was one I saw the rent was over $2,000 a month, and it was like 2 or 3 bedrooms, but you had to walk through the bedrooms to get to the bathroom.
Wow.
Oh, I saw it was a season of 90 Day Fiance where a dude had a house like that where like you had to, or apartment where you had to walk through, and so his bitch from like the other country was coming, and he was like trying to figure out because his roommate was black and he'd be walking around naked, like so he had to like figure out how to like because they have to walk through the roommate's room to get to the front door. Like, what kind of fucking ghost Scooby-Doo house is this?
Like, or you get in there and like the apartment has a kitchen, but then there's like no stove, and so you got like a hot.
Is it a kitchen?
Like it's literally like studio space, like kitchenette. Like,
yeah. But I thought kitchenettes had stoves, y'all.
Baby, no. Sometimes you just have 2 burners, and they.
Yeah, it's like a small range.
Some of the shit that they are calling like an apartment, it really is a closet that they have like updated. Like I've seen some where the guy was saying like he has a community bathroom, like he's paying rent and he has a room, but like the bathroom is like out in the hallway, like a hostel. Like it's wild shit. Like they are paying.
Like this side of the
having
country.
To shower with shoes on again.
They're paying like caviar prices to eat it's caviar prices tilapia dreams. Like it's a lot.
Yeah, this side of the country is weird, yo. There's niggas out here that do that. 3 grown ass niggas would be renting the crib from one person. Somebody got this room. Somebody, you know what I mean? Like just because the rent is ridiculous.
Yeah. I mean, the rent's a little insane here, but at least
everywhere.
I mean, it's gone up. Obviously, it's insane, but New York rent is already some crazy shit, and they just will be taking. Damn, I'm not lying. These people will really like renovate a closet and just sell it to people
and turn it into a bedroom.
$1,500 a month. Like they'll say something crazy, and because it's the cheapest thing, people will take it.
I don't want to live in there. Like it's big in
there. But it's that type of shit where like they literally have like their bed and it's like a fold up couch because when people are over,
the beds that go like this, like the Jack Tripper beds,
Murphy bed, and they got like the shit where it's like like there's some crazy shit. Like it's not. God bless them because
oh man. See, I always figured if I ever had one of those beds, it would be because it was cute, not because like I needed to walk to my front door.
Not because you actually like needed to put it away because you had to. But that's what they. It looked.
But can you imagine like that be in your room, and then but as soon as you come out, you walking through like the baby's room.
Like you share space with somebody, and it's like their whole family live there, and you just rent in one room, and like just a snotty nosed ass kid with one sock on staring at you in the door, like, bitch, why are you here? Oh,
this side of the country weird like that.
God bless them. I just hope it's gonna crash and burn here just shortly. Give it a year or two. It's about to be hell on earth. It's about to be 2008 all over again. Just give it a second. But yeah, so he moves into this bullshit ass apartment because he wants to be closer to Martin Scully for no motherfucking reason. I guess it's to breathe the same air.
To walk to like be on the same street corner with him and point him out on the camera.
Be like, oh man, I live in your apartment building. Like, it was super weird.
He did that at nighttime, which is very creepy to me. Like, if Martin Scully was really from the hood, he'd have definitely told this nigga to back
like,
the
bitch,
fuck
get
up.
the fuck up. Yeah, like, what the fuck? Get back. Like,
nigga, it's 12 a.m. Like, I will beat you up.
Right.
Like, get the
what you running up on, girl?
Yeah, like, what is the problem? Like, yeah, that's how I know, again, he not from the hood, because he was like, oh, hey, oh, you live there? Oh, okay, I'll see you in the building. Like, and they go to be like, I don't give no fuck, get the fuck away from me.
Right. You know what time it is, nigga? I'm by myself, nigga.
It's weird.
Meet me at, nigga, find me at noon. This is crazy.
So, December of 2015, Martin Scully is arrested for a securities fraud. Which
I think we all thought that he was getting arrested for hiking up that price.
Everybody did.
Yeah, like I think most people thought that's what it was, and they were like, "Oh, it's security frauds." 8 counts of securities frauds. Long story short, basically they said Mama's was running a Ponzi scheme. Basically, to me, it sounded not like a Ponzi scheme. Sounds like he was robbing Peter to pay Paul.
I was just gonna say that. Yep, that's exactly what it was.
It wasn't giving me Ponzi scheme, which we'll get to that.
Right. It really wasn't. But interesting part about this, about December 2015, when he was talking to them and he knew that it was probable that he was going to be arrested, they told him that they were going to give him a pre-arrest warning or something like that, right? So this nigga is on live stream being a fucking dickbag douche, and a nigga, a special agent, calls this nigga on live stream, and this nigga hangs up the phone, and then the next day he got fucking, or not the next day, was it the next day or later on that day?
Yeah,
like they were like banging on his door, and then he was just like, and he was like talking to his live stream people after he had gotten out on bail. He was like, they told me I was gonna get a pre-warning, so they wouldn't have fucking did all that. And they're like, basically he's saying these niggas was being extra, but they gave you the fucking courtesy.
They did call you and you hung up.
Right.
They gave you the white man courtesy that we're coming for you. Like, and again, another reason why I know you're not from the hood. Like, you shouldn't even be expecting that. That's not nothing we get. Like, we don't get those.
Oh, shit. The most you'd have never seen is a nigga get a date to already go to jail. Ain't no pre, we coming to get
nigga.
you. Nigga.
Ain't no pre. Hey, we coming through your neighborhood tomorrow. So
until I started following like white people's business as an adult, I had never heard of them saying, "Well, just come turn yourself in."
Nigga,
I'm just gonna like where you just go through a lawyer and the lawyer says, "Well, he's gonna turn himself in on Monday at 2:00."
Right.
Do you guys remember that Dave Chappelle skit, the Law and Order skit?
Yeah,
where it was okay. So this hella reminded me of this.
That's exactly what it reminded
because when you think about it, that skit, though it was hilarious, was basically saying that black people's crack is white people's fraud.
Right.
Like, and this was just super fun. Like, it just made me think, like, when he was like, they were banging on his door and shit. Like, if they came in and was like, he said your wife's titty fell in my hand.
Or like they shot his cat.
Right, shot his cat and shit. Like,
the cat that he was eating fried chicken to. That was wild. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, you'll go to jail and convert to Islam, you big lip bastard. I was like,
if y'all don't remember that skit, please go watch that shit.
That shit was hilarious. Amazing. It really was.
Because they gave Tron his pre-warning phone call. Like,
real shit.
Yeah, nigga.
Like,
so I can still sell rock to the community.
No. And he was like, "No, you can't."
Trying to help you get up out of there so you can be back on the block. Don't fuck it up.
So I guess 2016, Brent decides he's going to do a little, I guess, investigating because he can't make the whole documentary him fucking lusting after fucking Martin Scully in this apartment he's bought. So he goes to Retrofin. Yeah, he goes to Retrofin, and basically he's sitting outside, and the white lady's like, "No, buddy, we don't fuck with Martin Scully like that in here. You might need to call." Spit on. Yeah, she was like, "No, we don't fuck with him. So I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what you expected when you came here, but we don't know that name. We don't know him. We don't know what the fuck you're talking about. But you can call the comm and PR people on the phone tomorrow. But get out.
Don't come back up here.
But also take this, take this fact sheet with you, and God bless. Like, but you gotta get the fuck out of here. Like, nobody's talking to you about that. Nigga. We don't know. He was
willing to sit in the Retrofin all day. He said, basically, like, I'm in San Diego. Nothing.
I have all the time. Which, whatever. Like, also, if I was in San Diego, I probably would have all the time too, because hell. So then people start like writing like articles about the shit, right? Like, because then they're like in depth about it. Because the question, I think, it's not necessarily what Martin Scully did. It's what Martin Scully did in the grand scheme of how this looks for healthcare for Americans, access versus privilege. Is healthcare a right or is it a privilege, right? Like, is it rich people deserve to be alive, and if you're too poor to have, a rare disease, should we just let Darwinism play out and fuck you? Like,
basically. And it kind of answered the question that a lot of people have, in the sense of once you become an adult and you really look at this, that whole thing of businesses being beyond medication more than the government is, and more than like actual pharma, you realize that, you know what I mean? He pretty much proved it. Like, nigga, the more money I pump in, the crazier this shit gets. This is why we still see Oxycontin on the market, because of the family that it's tied to, not because it actually works.
And they made fucking Batman be on drugs, nigga. Like, so
I love that show, but
it was really good.
Yeah, man, this dude is, I don't know, like, I don't know. Go ahead, my bad.
Then we get an appearance from somebody I thought I would never really have to see again. Milo Yiannopoulos shows up for this.
What a weirdo, guys.
Further proving that Brent, baby, like, I just, you got Ghostface, but yet baby, why you couldn't get nobody else to come here for this? Like, why is Milo here? Like, I know why he's here, but like, why?
Yeah.
Like, I know.
I was like, because the art show. So if y'all don't know who Milo is, he's a conservative artist.
Alt-right conservative.
Like, Cuckoo Bananas Club.
So, Candace Owens, but like on steroids and white.
And white.
Don't leave the white part out. Candace Owens, but white male on steroids. Like,
with this hair. Like,
with the flip and the earrings, because he's gay as the day is long, and and that's fine. Like, and that's
it fine when you supporting people that probably don't support you? Is that fine?
That is, I hesitate to say that, because obviously that is not that does not intersect any of my particular identities. But I'm sure there is a lot of people out there that would tell you that white gays and the rest of the gays are some very different people. So, much like white people, much like white people that fall in the rest of our intersections, when it comes to white people intersectionality, they get to be white first and whatever else second. So their brand of activism is a little bit different.
Yeah,
you're right.
So
what is something we watched where the dude says that when they go to Pride, that everybody else is gay, but white gay dudes are just white dudes? Like, that's how the privilege goes. It's something we documented.
Nigga, what?
This dude, this motherfucker was saying.
I don't know if did we watch that or did you watch that?
Shit, I don't know. Maybe it was something I watched.
I would have remembered that shit.
This Asian dude said, and just to like piggyback what VJ said, this Asian dude was like, in the gay world, when they go out to Pride and like violence happens, it's white dudes doing it to everybody else, most likely. So even in like that world, they're white men first before they're gay. Like, I got this privilege to do
so
whatever the fuck I want to do.
A white gay dude would go to a pride event to attack other gay people that are not white and gay.
Not saying that that's why any of the white men are there.
I'm saying like, is that what you're saying? Like,
let's say if it was like a Black Lives Matter protest. Look at it that way. Like they were just marching for Black Lives Matter, and it was peaceful. But then the cops came and they started tear gassing people. Okay. Like it's different because you're at a Black Lives rally and you're white. But look at it that way. Like if it was white people at a, I don't know, Save the Whales rally. Like if they were going to tear gas somebody. Who were they gonna tear gas, right? Like if I show up and I'm like, save the whales, like they're still gonna tear gas my black ass. The white people are just like white people that are there that like whales. So like,
I got you.
Apply that to like gay people.
So basically, gay white men have an invisible force field if anything bad or it goes awry
because they're white first. Like they're not gay.
Yeah,
like
they're not gay.
The gay is just like an afterthought to them. Like that's not like it should be an intersectionality.
It's like in any place in the world, whatever they are, they're white first. And anybody else that's in that same bubble, oh, you're all that. But I'm
like
white.
You have to be everything. Like you have to be a black gay. They just get to be a white person at Pride. I know that sounds terrible and we didn't mean to like spin off, but that's just the reality of it. And that's just like we talk about white feminism, right? Like feminism for white people is not the same as feminism for like everybody else, which also fuck you, Susan B. Anthony. I hope you are frying, bitch.
That's why don't nobody even be having your dollars. So.
Susan B. Scammer, prolific scammer, bitch. I got your number.
Susan
you are absolutely in hell. You and Reagan together there.
Wow.
Welcome to All Docked Up.
Am I lying on the lady? Am I lying on her? She said she would lose her arm before she wanted black people to vote.
She and they put her ass on. And they was like, she deserves to be on the coin.
And shit got real shady after that. She realized niggas might be able to vote before her, and shit got real fucked up. I'm just saying.
Wow, she was about to lose her white lady shit.
She was about to. It was very much like white liberal lady right now. Like, hey, she's not. She was the original character.
Wouldn't it be fucked up? Send us out, like you said. Don't nobody even carry them. You'll spin those if you get one of them. Wouldn't it be fucked up if they was like, yo, I know y'all want these tub dubs, but something gotta go.
And we'd be like, you know what I mean? The bitch we never use. Like,
and somebody like it was like a close vote where like one extra person was like, nah, we gotta keep it. Wouldn't it be fucked up if we got club dubs? Because niggas really wanted Susan B. Anthony.
Yeah, niggas don't even be using those.
That's that's the white liberal ladies' hero. So whatever.
Niggas accidentally get us away as quarters. Like, stop.
My juice ain't coming out. It said 4
Wild times. So Milo, they do some type of conservative like art installation. And
it was just a bunch of pictures with niggas with make America Great Again hats, and he was in a tub of blood. I don't know. What was he trying to tell me? Like,
I still don't know. Something about Daddy can fix it, and that he felt like the culture.
And Daddy was Trump.
I did not figure that part out.
Okay. Anyway, y'all, he was doing some wild shit, and your boy Ugly Face was there, and he brought his pill as a piece of art. He set it on a table. He signed underneath it, had a price tag on it because it's $750 a pill, and apparently that's something people want to come and gawk at. And then he put a frame around it, and he was there. And also, what the fuck was he even talking about when they interviewed him? That was like, he didn't even know what the fuck he was talking about. Like, and I'm not a conservative, but like, I understand English, and like, he wasn't like saying anything. Like,
it was a lot. And then the crazy part about it didn't even line up with like the shit that he normally is saying, and that's where shit.
That's what I'm saying.
It didn't line up with the motherfucking thing he had said up until this point. And he gets on there and he was like, "Yeah, and people deserve health care," and it was like, pardon?
Right. Like, what the fuck? Like, this is this pill that is super expensive shows you the pricelessness of life. And basically, all I heard was he was saying, basically, y'all better scratch and survive if y'all want this.
Figure it out.
Look,
you want this pill? You finna figure out how to get $750. Period.
Yeah.
Right.
him taking that shit and taking it to an art show to have it on display, knowing it was gonna get attention anyway, is the equivalent to those dudes taking that white Bronco around and being like, nah, this still doesn't represent an interracial murder at all. Like these niggas bought OJ white Bronco and they take it around the country for like birthdays and bachelorette parties. It's these two white boys that bought it.
They bought the Bronco and they just be like showing up with the Bronco. Places.
Yeah, niggas paid them to rent that Bronco. So if I said,
other white people.
So if I said for Chris's birthday, I'm gonna pull up with like a bouncy house and we're gonna push, bleep bleep redacted down the stairs, and I'm gonna have a Bronco. I could just call them and they would bring the Bronco there for us to sit in.
I mean, you can't,
bring my own fake gloves and knife and sit in there and be like,
yep. You can't drive off with it, but you can damn sure have it at your party, at your whatever. This is the equivalent to that.
So I know my birthday was like 3 weeks ago, but let's start planning for next year. Would really like that Bronco to be there for my true crime themed birthday. Yeah, great.
We're gonna get those little like dusting kits so we can start dusting over by the glove box and shit.
Yes, yeah. I need the gloves. I need a white man.
Small gloves and shit.
Yeah, I need 2 small gloves. I need a white man to show up and say, nigga, we obviously are going to jump him after, but I'm going to pay him. I need him to show up and do the Mark Furman joint.
Yes, please. It's not a party. Yeah. It's not a Mark.
Can they throw in Kato Kalin with the Bronco? Because he's still like, let's get it. Like, I need it.
Hey, look, not exaggerating.
And a black dude with smart rhymes.
If it doesn't fit, you must quit. Like that shit changed the world. That was like
because like literally it was haunting your dreams because like damn, it didn't fit though.
Regardless of that nigga being hard.
You heard what the rhyme said.
It was theatrical, and as much as lawyers like to say it's about law, like a lot of it is about theatrics. It's about courtroom theatrical presentation, and may the best presentation win because Americans on the whole are stupid. I hate that for us. Oh, and that's why we have a white man making a documentary where he stalked and moved into another man's apartment building.
Yeah. Okay, so so we said that the weirdo told Martin that he was in his building, and then he was like, there was like a moment where he was like, in all this fucking stalking and fucking following, like I kind of feel sorry for him. Like I feel sorry for you. Like what? Like we like. In all honesty, we were gonna find out this story anyway. You know what I mean? Like your documentary didn't like.
Were we though? Because
he told people, and that's what that got me fucking tripping. He fucking told Ghostface Killer and Milo Yiannopoulos that he stopped the nigga and moved to his apartment.
And Ghostface was like, "Did you kick his ass?" He didn't say you kick his ass. He was like, "And then what?" Like,
right?
Ghostface was like, "You were supposed to unpack your stuff, go downstairs, and knock this nigga out."
So I guess
that's pretty weird.
So we get an interview with what is his name? Silver Ring? Is that what it is? The guy that produced the Wu-Tang album?
Yes, Silver Rings. Yes.
Silver Ring with a C, whatever.
Yes.
Whatever, nigga.
Silver.
Sort of nigga.
Rings.
Is he a nigga? Not a nigga, right?
He not a nigga.
Okay,
I'm not really sure what's happening with his.
Yeah, like I wasn't sure what I know that's not a nigga. He's not Scott Storch, but he's also not a nigga, so I don't know.
Yeah.
So
I was so shocked when I found out how Caucasian Scott was. Like
Scott.
Really?
I just didn't expect it. Like
he was giving us the hits, but he's a white man in Miami, so it is what it is.
The first time you see him, it is like seeing the first time you see him, and because you don't realize how white he is. It's like when you found out that Donald Glover played the white dude on that episode one time. Like for real, like
it's different.
So I feel you.
So Silver Ring produces an album for Wu-Tang Clan called "Once Upon a Time in Shaolin." No one has heard this album. No one has seen it except for Martin Shkreli, because what Martin Shkreli decides to do is he pays $2 million to be the sole owner of the one copy in existence, right? And the Wu-Tang Clan says something to the effect of this is how art was originally consumed, and blah, 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 and we just made $2 million. and hope he enjoys it, and the Emperor's new clothes. The end.
Bitch, what if that shit was like a Banksy fucking art thing, and once fucking Martin fucking went to play it, it just fucking melted in his fucking CD player?
What if there was no fucking like Silver Ring is saying he produced it, but what if he didn't produce anything? What if
there's just nothing on it?
Right, there's nothing on it, or it's just the niggas talking about producing an album. Like the concept, like is on.
Look, and I don't think they talk about it.
What was that? What was that show? The Wu-Tang Saga or whatever that was on.
Yes.
What if it's just like a table read from that? Like it's not an album. It's just them reading the fucking scripts from the fucking Wu-Tang show.
Real shit. That would be funny. But look though.
But apparently, I don't know if they mentioned it, but Martin said it was.
Did he? Because did they mention the fact that the whole thing was when they sold it? It wasn't supposed to, like, the fact was you wasn't supposed to like let nobody else hear it. Like only one person supposed to know what's on it ever.
You're right. I don't know if he heard it. I mean, he was acting like he heard it.
You said what?
He thought the cat broke it. He was using it as a coaster. I don't know.
But I think that shit was more publicity though, because Wu-Tang is one of them groups. Think about it. Them niggas is in the sense of when you say their name, young niggas, old niggas know them. They gonna always be something special. So when them niggas and the type of niggas they always been, they do some shit like that. Think about it. Rape tape is called the purple tape because they actually made it out of purple. Nobody calls that by its name. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So if you think about their mystique and they come out with some shit like this, and so many people who just love hip hop with that respect it, actually, you know you're gonna get attention if you like, oh look, I'm using it as a coaster. Like everything this dude did was simply for the publicity and the hope of, like, I don't know, like I said, this nigga was like what Batman villains are made of.
Yeah, he definitely gives me like Riddler, like Joker,
which I guess is what they were saying, right? The guy was talking about comic books and they were trying to make it as if he was like a villain with no friends, and he was like a villain for no reason. So I guess this was try to humanize him, but I still don't know that I know anything about Martin Shkreli. Like I don't.
You don't.
And that's the thing. Like, it was a good documentary. It was interesting, but I don't know that what he sought to do is what happened. Like, I don't think he knows.
No, yes, it is. I think he sought to stalking nigga, and he did. Like,
Martin Shkreli, because what's the name? Yeah, that nigga definitely sought to stalk. What Shkreli intended to do, none. I think it happened, but the consequences that came with it is not what he expected at all.
No.
What did he think was gonna?
I don't know what he thought was gonna.
The same thing
at the worst. I mean, not the worst, but the one thing that could happen when you blow up or something happens, right? Like he got a mad publicity for this one thing, and then the cops was like, "Hey, ain't that nigga that one time had did that one thing?" Like, so It's just like.
But I think it's that sense of wanting to exist in that white world, and then you do, okay. And then that time where they prove you still not white. You see what I'm saying? A lot of white boys get away with shit because they, you know what I'm saying, the lifestyle that they are accustomed to, they don't know the difference between right and wrong. Like they make up shit for white folks. So I think this dude was riding that wave and he pushing all the limits he can, and finally somebody was like, all right, this nigga getting on my nerves. Like she said, the election was going on at that time. We ramping up. Get this nigga the fuck out the way. We need people to concentrate more over there. It's had a hold on people who actually. This nigga was in the news for like 2 years.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. You know do we want to talk about the one friend that he seems to have? What is that child's name? Billy the Fridge.
The nigga with the sour cream donut on his neck. Billy the Fridge.
He said he was Marilyn Monroe, the fat.
He said he was the Marilyn Monroe of fat dudes, and I'm like, but you're not though. Like,
yeah, I was like, I'm pretty sure that's what he said, and I was like, okay,
that's definitely what he said because I wrote it down. But he's lying though. Like, I've seen some handsome fat guys, and he is not one of them. Like,
apparently he's a rapper. He said he's a rapper and a sex symbol.
Apparently, I mean, he showed you he was a rapper. I guess if you want to.
And your one time to be on TV and you know you ain't shit from an ain't shit place, maybe when you just say the most radical shit too, fuck it.
I'm a fucking
sex symbol.
I'm a sex symbol. Well, I'm a podcaster and I'm a sex symbol.
Yeah,
that nigga slept with Janet Jackson and just made the last cut. He was the last nigga cut from the documentary. He can't believe it.
They missed him.
Yeah, like he was just saying that like he knew Martin and Martin was like trolling and he just wanted to get on people's nerves and he wanted the publicity. Basically what we all know to be the truth, right? Like Martin Shkreli was just doing shit to see what would happen. Like the nigga was bored and wanted attention because he had no friends.
That is it.
So I don't know why he was here to tell us that, but Ben Rothman, Shkreli's lawyer, tells us basically that he doesn't like Martin Shkreli any more than anybody else does.
He said sometimes I want to hug him, sometimes I want to punch him. Like
because he does the thing, which he does the thing that is like rule number one, right? If you were on trial for some shit that's not murder that you could possibly get out of because it's a federal case and it's not anything insane, right? Like it's fraud. Right. Unless you do some serious fucking fraud, like unless you do Enron, Bernie Madoff level fraud, and so she's just gonna come in and sit quietly in the back. Okay, girl, like that for you. No.
Is she not want to make her entrance?
Yeah.
Okay, she's gone. I was like, no. Everyone hold your breath and sit still. She'll leave.
Listen, she the one came in like, look, I just wanted to show y'all my face because I knew you wanted to see me. I got shit to do.
Because she's like, I ain't watched this documentary this week, so
wanted to dog shit. Excuse me. Bye. Didn't watch it. Bye. Yeah, his lawyer was just like, why is this nigga like you can do fraud unless it is like super duper like large scale fraud. A lot of times, like you can just lay low, like he's not lying. Like white people do shit, and if you can just shut the fuck up and sit down until it's time for you to go to court, like enough time has passed that people will just forgive the fraud. Like in most cases, like you can go to jail for like fucking 12 months. And then they'll give you 6 months off of that for good behavior. And then if the fucking prison's overcrowded, then you go for like a month. And then they put you on house arrest. Like Martin Shkreli's fucking stupid. Like he didn't have to go. Like, what?
But that's his thing. Like he felt disrespected that they didn't give him his heads up like they promised.
Which
and
he
came off of they definitely did. He came off of bail and he basically turned up the trolling. And unfortunately, his lawyer over here trying to do his fucking job. And here we are. Like
and it was being stressful. You out on $5 million cash bail, and this is how you act. Like, sit the fuck down.
Like
he literally bailed out to go live stream.
Real shit. And then go live stream and fuck your whole shit up because like VJ said, if the nigga would have shut up, remember the nigga from the Alex Rodriguez shit said when them niggas was on his ass and he was in the news every day, all of a sudden Michael Jackson died and that shit gave him like another year of just like doing this thing because he shut the fuck up. Like, you know,
that's all he had to do.
Just shut the fuck up, bro. You good. But hey.
He felt his light dimming. He had to get it out the mud.
So while he was out on bail, he decided that he would harass reporters. Like this is his thing. So, and not male reporters, right? Like he's not doing this to me. He is because you guys know the type. You know the type. A man would punch him in his fucking shit for this at some point. Like this is just I'm gonna troll women and scare them, right? So
this is so on brand with like the last month in like our little worlds. Like
anytime
you guys know the type. You know, ugly guys that just say whatever the fuck to girls and they would never in their whole lives say anything to like a dude on that same scale. You know the type.
Yeah, I know the vibe. So yeah, like he's basically anytime they would say anything negative about him, no matter what it was, he would then go he would basically like buy their name URL and then use it to harass them or post damaging things about them or just troll shit. And it just kind of came to a head with a journalist from Teen Vogue named Lauren Duca. So for some
why are you even reading Teen Vogue? Like, why do you even know her?
Like he latched on to whatever this woman said and was like, and she has a husband. Like he basically had a +1 for the inauguration and invited her. And she was like, I would eat my own organs first. which also she's
like,
married and has a fucking husband. So of course that lady is gonna tell you I would fall on the sword first.
Right.
Like what?
He hit her up like, boo, what you doing for the nog? Like he hit her.
But he just knew her like they were best buds, and she was gonna like skip out on her husband to hang out with some man she didn't know.
Like she was gonna be open enough to be like, "Hey Jeff, you gonna watch the kids? I'm going out with Martin." Like,
me and Martin got
me and Martin going to the nog. We're gonna rub elbows and stuff.
I'm gonna send you pictures though. Like
it's gonna be dope. We're gonna be there.
We're
gonna eat and dance. It's gonna be real cute. We're gonna send you pictures from the photo.
Y'all remember that episode of The Office where Michael put his face on the family pictures, guys?
Yeah,
and he had never met her kids or nothing like that.
Right.
That's exactly what happened here. So after she was like, "Fuck no, I'd rather eat my own shorts," like he was like, "Oh, okay," and then he starts like taking all of like her pictures of her and her kids, or her or the family and their kids, or just her and her husband, and like putting his face on it. He also changed his face and their face from the people on How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days or some shit.
Yeah, that's like, exactly what it was.
Yeah,
Kate Hudson, and he put their faces on the movie poster.
I knew you was gonna appreciate that.
It was a lot.
He was like Joe from You, but like just
without the murder. Like it was just like he had ramped up to like 1,000 on that poor girl. Like that woman was just like to the point to where she was like tweeting like at Jack, like, "Are you gonna do anything? Like this man is like
you just gonna let this nigga be on Twitter just
like to the point where it felt like harassment." He said something crazy. I don't remember what he said that finally was like the nail in the coffin, but he got banned from Twitter.
He told her that Twitter wouldn't separate them, and then I think he joked about raping her. And
whatever he said,
not joked. I ain't saying he called it a joke. I ain't saying rape is a joke, but any fucking way, they they then banned him after that.
So look, because I feel like we kind of glossed over the Ghostface part. I really just want to come back to that really quick before because we're like,
oh no, let's go. This is almost over anyway. So
yeah, I'm about to say we're like rounding out the shit. So okay,
now we can get into Ghostface.
Okay, so after Martin acquired the fucking album, right? Apparently, RZA wasn't there when this nigga handed it over because he didn't like that shit. He basically was like, I don't really think that he understands, what the purpose is or whatever like that. He's being a clown. And so that kind of started a beef with Ghostface. Now, I don't know. From my understanding, I don't think him and RZA went back and forth. RZA said something, he said something, and Ghostface is like, all right, my nigga. Like, and so now Ghostface comes into the documentary. He on the phone. You can already tell he not really about to stay here too long talking about this nigga. Like, he sit down and they ask him about Martin Shkreli. And the funniest part is that, so he hangs up the phone and they're like, all right, so let's talk about Martin. He's like, hey, let me tell you something about Martin Shkreli. We're like, yes, that's what we're here for.
Yeah.
That shit was so funny. He was so hot.
Immediately, like, let me tell you something about me.
Oh my God. Here's the funniest part about this part. So they're going back and forth or whatever and showing you kind of like the timeline. Apparently TMZ had that fucking timeline on fucking lock. Like there's like a video of a fucking Ghostface saying something, and then here comes Martin and blah, 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 blah. And in the middle of this beef, where the fuck was I, y'all, when fucking Martin Shkreli went on the Breakfast Club?
I had that threatened that nigga. Like, why was he on the Breakfast Club?
So
this nigga was everywhere.
This nigga goes on a Breakfast Club and says, I think you have a term that he says, I think y'all have a term that y'all might understand. I wish he would. Like, and he said that shit like on Breakfast Club. Like, talking about Ghostface Killer, wishing he basically wishing that Ghostface would do the shit that he said he was gonna do.
What that nigga said, I'm gonna come after you, Skrelly, some shit like that. I don't know.
He said, because basically you're a fake ass supervillain.
Right.
Yo, honestly, swear to God, that's the best
you got
part.
Money, it don't make you a man. Real shit. Yeah, he was.
I should have found out the exact part of when he comes and sits down, because that is literally the best part of the documentary. He is very hot and he really don't fuck with that nigga. It's just hilarious. So I just wanted to make sure. Thank you, Penrose.
It was a lot. Like, I don't even know.
What
I fucking funny.
I don't got no eagle like Ghost, but I got an orca. Y'all know.
I saved the whales, Penrose.
You know what I'm saying? We out here.
Okay, so I can't. Okay, is Martin a sociopath, y'all? Is he autistic? Yeah. What is happening?
They said he was autistic, or that Ben Brofman, the lawyer, said he had him tested. If he had been diagnosed as a kid, he would be on the spectrum or whatever. And I'm just like, okay, like, I feel like y'all are trying to garner sympathy, because there's nothing wrong with that nigga except for he didn't have no fucking friends. And, you know, and here's the thing, like, I'm not about to ramp up. Like, I don't, you know, like, if you are on the spectrum, there's nothing wrong with that. I'm not saying he can or can't be, but what I'm telling you is that I call bullshit. Like,
I don't think Martin Shkreli is on the spectrum.
Like, it's nothing wrong or right with having autism. Like, there's nothing wrong with having autism, but Martin Shkreli's on the fucking spectrum. Martin Shkreli's a goddamn asshole. That's it. That's all.
Over here. He not right here. He not over there. Like, I don't see it.
Not have autism. What the fuck? Like, okay, Ben Brofman. Like, I know this man is paying you millions of dollars on retainer to like make him look as, you know, like equitable as possible, but like, like, I know you trying to make this nigga look as equitable as you can. However, like, that man
don't lie to us.
Like, it's nothing wrong with him. Nothing.
It's not nothing wrong with him. Like, not
except for that he likes to fuck. He likes attention. That's not autism. He fucking likes attention.
I feel like somewhere during his plan, somewhere in his whole thought of this, he was like, yo, one day they're going to make a movie about my life. I'm going to make this as big as I can. And then shit just didn't happen. Like, I think this nigga...
I mean, I think that was definitely his intention. I think that he feels like that he was going to play a way larger role in the grand scheme of things. That just didn't happen. Like, he had his nice little... I'm going to give him his 32 minutes. You feel me? Like, he had like 32 minutes of fame. And then it just like... Because, I mean... You're a douche. And anyway, do we want to talk about his girlfriends, or at least the one that has those pictures of her on that fucking fence?
Okay, because
that shit was wild.
After the Tinder date, I was just kind of like, okay, girl, whatever. Apparently, Martin Shkreli's on Tinder just like everybody else. Just so you know.
How frightening is that, bitch? What if you're on Tinder one day and like, let me think of somebody just ridiculous. I don't know why Kyle Rittenhouse came into my head, but like, not him. Like, but like,
oh my god! Wow.
Because that was an outrageous pairing. Like,
what if like y'all super match?
Right. So it would be like the black people equivalent if like I'm trying to think of somebody that did something relatively whatever, but.
Like Marion Barry, like
Orlando Brown. Okay, there we go. Like Columbus Short or Orlando Brown.
Oh, okay, boom, Columbus Short.
Like, yeah, that nigga don't like that nigga's like like he's kind of out of it right now. Or like Tyrese, like that nigga's clearly not well. So yeah, it's like the equivalent of like Tyrese being on Tinder. Just
you would definitely think it's fake.
Fresh off the Fast and Furious 27 and like on Tinder, and he like super likes you.
And this is not a catfish. This nigga is.
And it's really Tyrese.
Yeah, you think that this person is catfishing you, and these pictures are of Tyrese, and then you like looking at you like, nah, these selfies, this might really be this nigga. And then like y'all go out to dinner, and it's cool, and then he orders like $120 tea.
First of all, bitch, what is happening with this tea? If it doesn't have weed in it, like, what am I paying for? Like,
The pictures ain't even what made you go out with the niggas. When the nigga sent you the voice message and said, "Congratulations," and you was like, "That's that nigga. That's that nigga." No, girl, we cool. That's that nigga.
It's so much. It's so much.
$120 tee was. He was trying to show off. That's him showing off. He ain't never had a chance to take a pretty girl out. That was his. All of that shit was
okay. Honestly, then you should have bought it for her. Like, what you drinking some shit?
Like he drank the tea. He didn't offer any. Like
he didn't he didn't buy her one too. Like he just.
But she said that she had a nice time, so I guess.
Right. Yeah. He's still an asshole. Maybe he offered and they just cut that part out because they wanted to.
Yeah, maybe she just didn't want to tea. Who knows?
Yeah, you know what I'm saying.
So,
but I mean,
and so this is the one that's on the fence, right?
No, that's just the Tinder date. Lauren Hayden is the one that he dated for a year because she shows up in some of the live streams. I think it's
right. Yeah, they got videos together and everything. They was in love.
Yeah,
like, this is her boyfriend because she said they was doing math in the back of the taxi, and I was like, oh, that's so nerd cute.
Word.
I don't know, like, let me out. Like,
it's so maybe this says more about me than it does about Martin Scully, but I was like, honestly, like, I would have been like, okay, cool.
I thought it was kind of dope.
But I'm also a math.
Yeah, nigga.
So you have to ignore me.
I don't think.
Listen, if y'all liked math in school, that's super cool. But I am not putting no heels on to go be sitting in the fucking.
Well, they were getting into a cab, so I don't think I think
carrying the fucking
on the fly type shit. But it was right up
carrying the one on the date. I'm not carrying the one on the
date. It wasn't the math for me. It was the connection. I think it was just dope. They connected over something that quick. Like, who the fuck really about to connect over the probability of getting in the same fucking cab twice?
Because I think it's one of those things where she already felt like she was weird because she is into math, right? She already was having a hard time. And so she met somebody who was also probably having a hard time dating. And instead of them getting in the cab together and she randomly, says this and he'd be like, "Oh, bitch, don't nobody."
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
I would have pretended.
That could have been the end of whatever, and he just was like, "Okay, let's figure it out."
Right
like he was gay,
right?
Nigga, I would have pretended I was looking at my purse for a fucking piece of paper and a pencil, and I would have just opened up the car door. Like, I don't know.
We know, Chris.
I don't know. I don't know, sir. I don't know. I don't even know the probability of me finishing this car ride with you.
Like, that nigga was weird. And we'd have been like, Chris, you left him in a cab. I know, but he was weird. Like, that would have been
because he was asking me like
math.
I told him to pull over at the next corner.
So, dating tip from All Docked Up: don't do math on the first date.
Not with me. Like, now, if you want a nigga to spell something, I'm your girl. But like, get the fuck out of here with that shit. Like
I will do Wordle with you.
If you're not just gonna impress me with the answer, like, if you can impress me with the answer, cool. I'm not even gonna know if it's right or not. So like, you can just make that shit up. I'd be
make the story sound good.
But let's not do math. But let's also not just do. Let's not do math. That's fine.
Let's not like.
Yeah, so they dated, and then she said they were off and on and off, but more off than on.
More off.
And then there's pictures of her all over the goddamn fence, her neighbor's fence, where it's just video footage of her stills of her throwing them the finger. I don't know what's going on there, but
listen, what is happening? Apparently, there's a property line issue, so they put the fence up, and the girl is, I don't know. I don't like, what is she doing? Like, something because she's irritated.
Remember when Sam Jackson was in that movie and that nigga was just an angry ass neighbor and you didn't find out for a minute why?
Oh,
that's the vibe he was giving me. Like,
interracial
Lakeview Terrace.
Yeah, he was mad for no reason.
I really didn't get the what is your problem?
He was mad for no motherfucking reason. It was very weird.
Like, he didn't even like her. Like, I'm thinking, like, are you trying to suck his bitch? Like, what is the point? Like, what are we doing
he was just angry and psychotic. Like, there was no reason to any of that.
Until you found out that his wife was with a white dude, then it was like, oh, that's your fault.
No,
you know but the whole time while you waiting to find out, you like, what's wrong? That's the last thing you gave me.
I mean, after I found out, I was still, what the fuck is wrong? Like, I was still like,
I still was like,
this nigga, because that's your wife, bro. Like, you not married to that lady. She over there minding her motherfucking business. Unless you're trying to steal care from that white man, like, none of this is necessary. And really, none of it was necessary if that was your plan. Like, now you just look crazy. Like, she's not gonna want your crazy old ass. Like, you done did too much now. Like,
right.
The ending wasn't well thought out. They was riding that motherfucking racial wave like, oh, niggas is mad at white folks here.
He didn't plan that correctly. That didn't go over like he thought.
Oh my god! But yeah, so I guess the point of Weirdo showing this girl giving a middle finger on the fucking fence and shit was to show that like maybe she wasn't as like normal as she was saying that she was in the documentary. But again, this bitch was doing fucking probability math in the back of a fucking taxi. So.
I think she was. They probably were good for each other to some extent.
Yeah,
we get a story about the one nice thing that I've heard Martin Shkreli do in this entire documentary, by chance, but it happened.
And this is why I think he just was being a super villain.
Is it possible, before we talk about what he does, but is it possible that this is an example of what he wanted to do, like what his original intentions were to do to make himself accessible to be able to do what we're about to talk about, and then it just got lost in the sauce when he realized the fame was like getting to him?
Yeah, I think he was misguided. The nigga didn't have nobody. So what we about to talk about, I feel like it is what he really wanted to do, but in America, capitalism reigns supreme. And I think he went that route and had nobody guiding him to be like, hey, don't fuck this up. And he fucked it up.
Yeah.
Because, go ahead, VJ.
So we have an interview with Patrick Rice. Patrick Rice basically says that he has toxoplasmosis. So he's one of the less than 200,000 people that need this Daraprim. And so he was like sick, didn't know what was wrong with him, had like bleeding ulcers and shit, like was sick, like on his deathbed, needed the Daraprim to live, like it was bad, like which is the case for most people that need Daraprim. It's a need, it's not a want, it's like it's not a I could maybe take it today and then I could, not drink milk tomorrow and be okay. Like it's a need, like they have to have it. So basically, he's getting it at the regular price. His insurance is paying for it. He's cool, whatever. One day, out of the blue, they're like, nah, we can't fill this. He's at the pharmacy trying to get the pills. And they're like, no, we can't, we can't fill this. And he was like, what do you mean? And he was like, well, how much is it out of pocket? I'll just pay for it. And they were like, oh, $30,000. And he was like, a year? I'll have to figure it out. But okay. And they were like, no, baby, a month, $30,000 a month. So randomly, he is on Reddit, and there's an AMA. For those of you not on Reddit, AMA means ask me anything.
Ask me anything.
So normally, this is not.
Reddit has such a hold on me, you guys.
I love Reddit. So good.
It's really everything, and I can't believe that it took me until last year to actually create an account. Like I used to just
Reddit
look
you
at
see the pop-ups. Yeah, Reddit is like how Twitter is its own thing. Reddit it's all social media, but them shits is their own world. It's crazy.
Reddit's pretty goddamn dope. Shout out to Serena's husband. Yeah. So he just randomly, Martin Shkreli does an AMA on Reddit because of tension.
This is guys after everything's happened. Like so, and the reason that Patrick goes to this AMA is to figure out like what the fuck, like because at first he was hoping that it was just like some bullshit and like the prices were gonna go down or some shit, and they never did. And so he went to go be like, bro, what's
Then he go 2 weeks without his meds before, you know what I mean? Then it got bad. He like, nah, okay, go ahead.
Yeah, so he basically joined the AMA to be like, bro, like, what's the deal? Like, you're saying that you're gonna help people, and you're promising that you'll help people like have access to this drug who can't afford it, and like that's not the fucking case. Like, so like, what's good? Like,
yep,
and.
Martin like DM me.
Right.
And so that's what I'm saying was this the original intention for him to be this accessible for someone like Patrick who is in dire need of the medication? But on the other side, y'all, I'm sorry, but like you're the fucking like man over there, right? Like that giving this nigga a 10-day supply.
Like you're like it is, like I said, is a wonderful thing that he was able to do that for Patrick, right? Like how many other people that also need this do not use Reddit and were not on the AMA and are just like, damn, how the fuck am I going to get these drugs? My insurance is not covering it. My doctor's just looking at me like I'm fucking crazy. I don't know what I'm supposed to do. So Patrick got lucky because he was on the Reddit AMA. It's not as if Martin Shkreli went and sought Patrick out to give him these pills. So I want to say that it was like a good thing, right? Like I want to, you know, like that is dope that he was able to fix Patrick's problem. But how many Patricks are there where you just were like, fuck it? Right. Because the story wasn't Martin Shkreli hiked the price of this drug up, and the plan is to use that money for research for other drugs or research for a better drug. Because keep in mind, this is an orphan drug because it was over like 20 years old.
Right. Yeah.
So if the plan here is to do research to improve the drug, and you're saying, oh, well, the money spent from this is to improve it. Well, it's less than 200,000 people. Most of them can't afford it. How does this work? Explain it to me. Like, make it plain to me how this is supposed to support research for this drug when the people that need the drug can't fucking afford it. So were they supposed to come beg on the doorstep of Retrofin and be like, I please, Martin Shkreli, can I have some more? Like it's Oliver fucking Twist. Like I'm not understanding what they were supposed to do. That's the part that's confusing to me. Like even if I want to throw him a bone in this, like what the fuck was the plan here?
And like, and then if we're even thinking about it, like even more microscopically, you're even like limiting the type of people that you're going to be able to have access. Like Patrick is a white male, right? A white man that's on Reddit. Like, so a pregnant black woman who probably doesn't fuck with Reddit, you know what I'm saying? Or like an elderly fucking Hispanic man, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Doesn't fucking really fuck with Reddit, doesn't fuck with the internet, doesn't even know that Martin Shkreli is making himself accessible in this way. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, what about those people? Like, so I think he was even like, even narrowing like who he was even willing to help by just going on doing stuff like that on Reddit.
Because I would be honest, because I'd be remiss. Like I would say the three of us are pretty internet savvy, right? Like I didn't know Martin Shkreli was doing live streams every goddamn night.
That's what I'm saying. How did that humans know he was on live?
Like I knew that he hiked the price of a drug and that he went to jail for it, but I didn't know Martin Shkreli was just doing lives and hanging out.
Right.
And I didn't know any of that. So I'm just like, how would these people know that to have, oh, I'm accessible to everybody? Well, are you?
Exactly.
How would they fucking know? And then even if I can't afford my drugs, like my doctor is not going to be like, well, let's call up the CEO of fucking Johnson & Johnson. Let's call up the CEO of Pfizer because you can't afford your penicillin. Like, I'm just saying, that's not the thought process you take when you can't afford your medication. So who the fuck would have thought to be like, let's call the CEO of Retrofin and see what he can do?
Right. No,
the same nigga who thought to call the CEO of Retrofin and ask him questions until he starts stalking him.
Brent is the only. If Brent gets toxoplasmosis, he's gonna be the only person that's like, fuck it, let's call Martin Shkreli. Because who would think to do that? Like that, nobody else would be like, let me fucking call the CEO to see if I can get some medication for free.
Right. I'm a little confused at the end of Patrick's story, though.
Well, he says he's better.
He's in remission. Yeah. I think this nigga kept giving him medicine. I don't think it was a one-time thing.
I was gonna say either that or like the way that Weirdo edited it, it made it feel like that 10-day supply of pills like saved his life.
Right. Right. Yeah. Exactly.
I don't think that's the case. He needed the medication and it saved his life. It was edited poorly, but he kept basically Martin Shkreli just was like, until you don't need the drug anymore, we'll just keep sending you 10-day supplies.
Right.
So he was sending him whatever so instead of 30-day supplies like he was getting from the pharmacy, Martin Shkreli just was like, we'll give you 10-day supplies for free until you're healed or until you die, whatever the fuck it is you need. So the way it was edited made it look crazy, but he got more than 10-day supply.
Okay.
Like it was edited very badly.
I was like, so then this nigga sent those 20 pills, and then he was like, bro, like,
nah, that's
he paid for it until he didn't need it.
I was like, yo, what was in those pills? Like,
right, they specially made these for you, man.
No, that's no. It was just until he stopped needing them, but he just made sure he had what he needed.
Yeah,
which was really nice.
It really was nice, but again, look at how random.
But why do I need to come to you on Reddit for that to happen?
If that's the goal of your company is to make sure that the drug is accessible for people who can't afford it.
Yeah, that's the end game. Like I think what Penrose said, right? Like he didn't have anybody around him to be like, Martin, a 5,000% increase is crazy. That's a bit much.
It's insanity.
If you wanted to take it from 1350 to 27, like if you wanted to double the price, if you want to take it from 1350 to 27, that's a big increase, but it's not.
Right.
It's
affordable.
Right. It's affordable, and most people's insurance would have still covered that. It's a pretty big.
Right.
He could have increased it to probably like 50 a pill, and most people's insurance.
I was literally gonna say he could have gone up like significantly from 1350 and still not looked like a fucking douchebag.
But if he upped it to $100 a pill, to this day we wouldn't know who the fuck he is.
We wouldn't.
Because that's well within the range of what most other pharmaceutical companies.
Yeah, he didn't. That price had everything to do with look at me.
It was so high that niggas started like writing Congress and shit. Like,
yeah, I mean it's fucked up, but that's the only way he knew he was gonna get attention. I really feel like that's all this is. With some nigga who wasn't shit, he was smart as fuck. You on Wall Street at 17, you smart as fuck, but nobody's paying attention to you for anything. And you just had access at the right time because this serves no other purpose. Nothing he did serves any fucking beneficial purpose to anyone but his own ego.
Because a 50% price hike still gets you what you want. Like it still gets you what you need. Because at 17, you aren't making any money. These people's insurance is not covering this, which means the people that need it are calling or writing or not buying. Like they're either not buying it, or you're giving it to them for free. So really, what is the point?
Right.
you made it inexpensive so you could give it away. Like you could have gave it away at $13.50.
Come on.
Yep. If you wanted to just give it to people, you could have gave it. It's like, oh, I know it used to cost $13.50. It's free now. Martin Scully made it free for everybody who needs it. Like
the only sense that makes is if it wasn't publicly traded yet, and somehow that like impacted the stock on you know what I mean, in a selfish way. That's the only way that can make sense. Other than that, like you really not making no money. Who's scrounging the money up to take care of this?
Nobody.
Exactly. Like, come on, man. Insurances are paying for BBLs, but they won't buy these pills, nigga. You went far, cuz like you went.
Yeah, I mean, to the point where other like companies and shit that do the same thing were like, nah. We don't know anything about that. We don't associate with that. Like they was running to like disassociate themselves from Martin Scully because again, 5,000% is outside the realm of what most pharmaceutical companies are willing to do.
That's like literally not even real. Like
50%. Hell, I've seen 200% increases, but 5,000%.
Yeah. Didn't he sue other people from making generic brands of this shit?
Or tried to stop them from making them.
Yeah. Like this nigga
because we all know if once somebody makes a generic one at $100 a pill, niggas are not fucking with yours.
Right.
Well, that's the thing about pharmaceuticals. Competition is key. That keeps price low. There's always gonna be somebody making a generic pill. I'm so sorry if you're mad. The same shit,
and it's gonna be niggas that's gonna be taking it. Like
the same loophole that you exploiting to make all this money is the same loophole these motherfuckers are exploiting to get some of that money back on a generic pill. So
y'all get mad at the Coke man for stepping on his shit, but then that's what generic pills are. They get you what you need.
So a follow-up to the like Ghostface being my favorite part of the documentary, my second favorite thing about the documentary were all of the fucking sketches of Martin from the courtroom. Sometimes he looked like Moses Slack. Sometimes
it was so bad.
Sometimes he looked like Gollum.
The chick said it looked like what's the dude name from Lord of the Rings?
Gollum.
Yeah, look like Gollum on trial or some shit.
He looked like Moses Black from The Simpsons. Like at one point,
he did.
Yeah. It was a lot of.
It was never a flattering picture ever.
It was one, but he made his nose look very pointy. Like he looked like a human being, but his nose was super pointy. It was weird.
Yeah, it was like the most petty way that you can let somebody know that I still have an impact on this trial somewhere. I don't like this nigga. I'm about to draw the worst picture
ugly as fuck. Hold on, I'm about to show y'all because it's so funny.
So keep in mind that when they're trying to seat jurors for this trial, while she's pulling that up, they're trying to seat jurors for this trial. And it takes them 3 days and they don't have any jurors. Yeah, that's the word. It's like,
look at this one.
It's terrible. But
so funny.
Yeah, like so they have 3 days where they just don't seat any jurors. Like they have 200 people dismissed. That is a lot.
That is out of control. Like I've never even heard of that. Like
no, because basically, like they were like, "Well, can you be impartial?" And the people were saying shit like, "No, I hate his face." Like, no. One person said you would have to convince me he was innocent. Not
listen. This is how you know that they didn't ask none of us, because enough of us that want to see a nigga going, "Oh yeah, I can be impartial." Day one, get that nigga the fuck out of here.
Somebody
with the same time.
To quote my favorite juror,
57 seconds. If you guys want me to play it,
which one?
The video from last week tonight of all of the things that jurors said.
Oh, I was gonna say I just wrote down one.
Oh yeah, go for it.
Juror 59 was my favorite. Quote, he disrespected the Wu-Tang Clan.
He disrespected the Wu-Tang.
That's all you need
and
to
they
know.
Were like,
at the point that the juror was like, nope. Like they were over it. Like those people really were like, I cannot be impartial here. Like they did not want to be on the jury. They were like, fuck that nigga. Hope he goes to jail. Like it was a lot. Like you don't go through 200 jurors for a fraud trial. Like
these same people hated Edward Snowden for giving away secrets about a government that they say they hate themselves, and they hated Martin Shkreli even more. Like that should show you something. Like this nigga
they're saying stuff like he had a punchable face. Like there people like they really did not want to be.
Nobody wanted to be there, right? Real shit. So certain niggas take jury duty as a vacation, and even them niggas was like, "Nah, I ain't fucking with it." Like 3 days.
They finally got somebody, I guess. At some point while he's out on bail, Brent, being the creepy stalker that he is, shows up on his doorstep with a 6-pack of beer. He's like, "I saw the court stuff. I just wanted to try you beer," which honestly,
bro.
And that was like the most like normal, like fucking that Martin Shkreli looked the entire fucking documentary. Like that was like the only part where he just looked like a normal human being. And he was like, "Oh, that was nice." Like you could tell like nobody's ever done anything like remotely kind to him or for him. Like, which I mean, I guess if you want to feel sorry for him in that, then sure. But yeah, it gave me the feeling that nobody outside of his probably parents have ever done anything kind just to be kind to him.
Right. Yeah. This is the equivalent like when we see an artist with a lot of money and we be like, "Why are they acting so weird?" And it's like because this kid is like in his early 20s with a lot of money and nobody's telling him what the fuck to do. This is the equivalent to that. This kid just ended up having a lot of fucking money and there was nobody to say no. You know what I mean? It's a bad life to have a yes man and that's all you got. It's an even worse life to not have a no man. And this nigga had nobody. You know what I'm saying? Like,
you think his mom and daddy would tell him to sit the fuck down somewhere, but I think at the point to where I don't think his mom, but I think it's one of those things like immigrant parents, like they don't know what the fuck he was doing. Like, shit, I know some people now, if they try to, like, if I ask my mom to explain to people what I did, she probably could. If I ask my, like, grandma to, she probably can't. Like, so I think it's one of those things where, like, they probably like, and he's probably telling them, "Oh, mom, dad, it's fine. All this shit in the media is, you know, that's just them making up stories. None of it's true." I'm sure his parents probably thought to the very end he didn't do shit.
I believe it.
So he was guilty on 3 of the counts out of the 8. So he ends up with like 7 years in prison.
Ghostface Killer said that he under there shivering under the covers and paying to have to use the phone.
Right.
Yeah, they were saying he was like sneaking in contraband and shit, which I absolutely believe. Like it's a federal charge. That nigga's fine. They're talking about, he's in general population with rapists and murderers. Okay, girl, if you want to believe that.
No, he's in general population with other niggas that have committed fraud.
no, baby. He's in general population with Keith Raniere from the Nexium cult. Like he's not. Like he's not in Gen Pop
in linen pants.
Like, girl,
nigga doesn't have a cell. He has a room. You know what I mean? Like,
but yeah, she tried to make it seem like he was like getting, beat up in the shower with like a sock full of butter or some shit. Like, girl.
Like this nigga on 60 days in, and he like, ooh.
Like he really doing the ass doing the ramen and shit. Like that nigga's fine. Like, but the person,
time out.
What?
60 days in real quick. It ain't. Yeah. You don't think randomly just in an uncomfortable conversation doing this, a nigga ain't gonna be like, hey, this nigga. I think this nigga on 60 days in, dog. Like, we gonna have to kill this nigga. Like, niggas doing the most outrageous shit. Like,
I'm just waiting to use the phone.
Yeah, totally.
Just stanky leg one time and then contact if you want to come home. Niggas crying like
Nigga, I cannot. The most ridiculous people sign up for that shit, and that shit be
people that have no business being there.
No business.
Like, you are not built for this. Why are you doing this?
Listen, and I'm gonna shut up because I know I'm off track. But please tell me y'all seen the one where the nigga didn't even make it out of admin.
You talking about the nigga that was on the top bunk from like one of the earlier seasons? Oh, okay.
No. This nigga was literally, when you get arrested and it's enough for you to have to, even if it's just 2 or 3 nights over in the cell, you went holding with everybody else.
Yeah.
And they told him that you can't come out of there because that does look suspicious. If you going holding and sit down and then you just walk the fuck out the front door, that shit look weird. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Like, your daddy somebody. Any fucking way. These niggas in the jail know that the show was there. They know that, you know what I mean? And so told the nigga, nah, we can't take you out. If you really want to come out, cool, but you gotta wait until you actually in the jail. This nigga was in there for, I think, 4 hours and holding, and that nigga was sweating like a motherfucker. Was just like, and like, what the fuck? Like, first off, relax, nigga. Second off, damn. And you coming on, I'm a corrections officer, so I know these inmates, I can handle this. White boy was scared, caught his wife. Look, when you fail, they make you call your people. He's like, bitch, I failed. You didn't fail.
I think I just saw you.
I thought I was gonna be able to have my side nigga for at least 2 months.
You text this nigga like, turn around, nigga. He on his way back.
Damn, you just left.
She mad as shit. Bubba bought her halfway ran. She mad in the The kids at her mama house seriously.
Right. Babysitting for the fucking kids. That lady thought she was about to be off duty. He was like,
you know when you about
and this nigga crying on the phone, so you know you gotta fucking rock him to sleep and shit.
You know when you about to have company and that 4 hours, that's just the last shit that you doing for the day. That was that. Oh, that's all she had, and all of a sudden, I'm on my way home. What?
I hate that for
me. Oh my god, I would be so mad. That's terrible. Oh my god.
But anyway, my bad. Yeah.
Yeah, but that's definitely Martin. That was 2017. So Martin Shkreli is almost out of prison. And if I had to bet, he'll be out here shortly if he's not out already. I didn't do any outside Googles.
I mean, I did, but I didn't see that he was free.
No, one more Ghostface quote. He called him the most suckerest motherfucker, and that just touched my soul. I don't know how I'm gonna use it in like normal conversation, but
because he said it like you just said it.
Yeah,
like, it wasn't nothing to think about. Like, I feel you. Like, that was a great line. Like, like out of everybody, like, Ghostface was like the most pissed off at this nigga, and his whole thing was like off principle. Like, we asked you not to fuck up and disrespect the album, and this is what you do. Like, this nigga literally has a beef over principle. Yeah, like, it's crazy how much he hates this nigga. But
yeah, so
the only thing left is the one twist. The lady that we sit with, the
Pharma Bromance.
The cute lady that we sit with, who's like, yeah, Martin really trusts me. She's a journalist. She's like, Martin really trusts me, and we talk all the time. Blah 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 blah. Apparently, we find out what is her name, Christy Smith.
right.
Yeah,
her and Martin are in love.
And so in love, girl. Pharma Bromance. Listen.
She sounds like she'd be the heir to crystals and then prefer to call them all White Castles. Don't ask me.
She was like, she's like, I just came out when I was visiting him and told him I loved him. And he said he loved me too. And I'm the only woman that he introduced to his parents. And it's like, baby,
You're the only one that he ever had the opportunity.
Yeah, the other girl was a Tinder date.
Martin was just in there talking that jail nigga talk. Like, he's saying all of the things that she wants to hear because he ain't got nothing else to do but to sit in the jail.
Prison promises. Like, that was wild. Mom came in there and told him she loved him, and he was like, fuck it, I love you too. Like, prison promises, bitch. Like, when he get out, that man gonna be trying to get to more money and more hoes. Like, you are not invited.
He just needs somewhere. Once it's over, he needs somewhere. What address will you be at?
They can parole him too.
You think that man, girl? You really think that he? Okay.
You about to get the best cuddles for them 2 weeks that ankle monitor around my mouth. He gonna cuddle the shit out you once that ankle monitor come off.
Stop my love, baby. Y'all ain't. That's how you gonna love somebody you ain't never even. Girl,
you just wanna, She want to help him get to his next level in life, and she's gonna be there.
She wants to be on. She wants to be. AK. She wants to be a part of the next scam. The next.
She want to be in the book. She want to be in the book. That's it.
So I think he is still in jail, right?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah. So he got 7 years in 2017, which would put him out in 2024. So he should be 2 years away from getting out. So if it's
he's trying to get out though now.
That's the thing. Yeah. If it's bedtime, because I think he had tried to get out to help with. Trying to get a
he wants to be able to cure corona. And guys, plot twist, what if all of the shit will end if he come out here and create something and then shit just fucking goes away? He just crop dust us with some fucking COVID shit and that should just go away.
Except he didn't create anything in the first place, so I'm confused.
You're right. He just found a pill that nobody was fucking with.
Right. Like, I mean, God bless him. I'm not saying he can't get out and throw some money at whatever, but also he had to forfeit $7 million in assets and the Wu-Tang album. So I don't know how much money he got left or don't have. I don't know. So I don't know. But to me, it would just seem like maybe you should get out and focus on, meeting your parole officer or
figuring out how you gonna get away from Crystal.
Yeah, I just feel like he has bigger. Like, I'm not saying corona's not important, but it's like you have bigger prison related
personal things.
Because you didn't make anything. Like, you're not a chemist. You're like a Wall Street bro. Like, so what are you gonna get out and throw the money you used to have at COVID? Like, I didn't get what he was supposed to do. God bless him. I hope him and Christy live happily ever after. I hope that journalist salary is enough for him, because he was on them live shows talking about it. He could smell the pour through the screen. And he said he could smell the pour through the screen. I'm confused how he don't smell the pour on her.
Well, I know one thing. I know the black people are gonna be on those streams now that he ain't got the Wu-Tang album no more. So
that's what I was like. Look, that nigga, who did
it's just like in evidence, like
right. This is a good question. This is gonna be the first time we go on the road when I don't go on the ground.
Where's the Wu-Tang album?
So as soon as New York thaw out, because don't none of us like to be cold. So I don't care how Midwest we are. Fuck that. I'm not trying to go back and be in the snow. I don't give a fuck about none of that.
Yeah,
cool. As soon as shit thaw out about April or May, we're gonna just make the trek to New York and we just gonna do our documentary where we figure out who has the Wu-Tang album.
Who has it? We're gonna just walk into fucking just places and be like, excuse me, can I talk to
We're gonna talk to Silver Rings with a C.
Yes.
We too are going to get We're gonna get Ghostface on the line. We're gonna figure it out. But that's our that's gonna be our first.
That's how they make it seem. Like, it seems like we could just walk up So like some office, the law office who did the legal shit when they sold this album and be like, yo, my name is Penrose, this is Chris, this is VJ, we're from All Docked Up, we're a Dr. Drew show. And that's enough to say to be like,
right.
Hey,
and they'd be like, oh, well, let me just give you the file.
Well, so
some halfway decently dressed chick named Martha, whether white or black, is like, yeah, I remember when they came down here and said, like, is this all you need? Like, that's all we got to do.
So is this where I like file for the like court document? Is this where I like file for the court documents under the Freedom of Information Act just because we're curious? Because I will.
Right. Maybe so we can figure out the last known address of the fucking
Wu-Tang album. I'm invested. I need to know where the fuck that album is. Like now I need to know.
We're gonna get an address. We're gonna knock on the door and be like, hey, like, is it here? Have you heard it? Did the cat break it? Like,
so somebody gonna chase us away from their front door and shit. Like,
right.
Brent moved out of his Brent moves out of Stalker Central and then goes back to his white privileged life. Martin Scully's in jail. Christy is falling for prison promises. And that's it. That's what happened.
Yep, that's it. So that was it, guys. Real weirdo guy. I did drop the link for that really quick like compilation of all the people that got denied for like the jury selections and like the best things. That's in the comments. So please go watch that. That's hilarious. Again, this is Pharma Bro. It's on Hulu. Watch it if you want. I think we did a good job.
Hell yeah.
I think that's it, right?
That's it. Yeah.
All right. I'm Chris. That's VJ. That's Penrose. And we're all docked up. We'll see you guys next time.
Later.
Bye.